Good morning, everybody. It is actually not the morning, it is the mid-afternoon. It's been a little bit rainy today, threatening thunderstorms most of the day, but at this point I'm just getting out because it feels so nice. Anyways, we're gonna flip some tin out here in the swamp today and walk around. The big hope is to see a mud snake or a king snake, but I will take anything we can get. So let's start off with this little stack of tin here. Stink. Ringneck. I'm assuming that's probably the same ringneck we saw here a couple weeks ago. You can see he's tucked down in the grass nicely right there. Good to see this stuff is producing. And nobody at the very bottom. So like last time we came out of this area, the first snake that we raked up in some of this detritus is a nice little brown snake. We saw like 8 or 9 of these last time we were out here raking around, so kind of expect to see quite a few of them today too, but we're on the board. Here's a look at the habitat. Just really nice swampy bottomlands. Perfect habitat for mud snakes, cottonmouths, and apparently these guys. All right, mud mat time. Hopefully these are gonna be mud mats one day. Not today though. All right guys, here's an interesting find. This guy is a brown water snake. While they're pretty common in some areas, here in Metro Atlanta, they're probably the most uncommon water snake we have, especially in this area. They'll turn up, but it's really irregular. Pretty bad look at them in the bush over there, but you can see them. Just right there, you can see those textbook blotches that differentiate them from Midlands. I'm gonna try to get a picture of them real quick. There's almost no way we're gonna get that guy in hand, but you can kind of see him through the bush. You can kind of see him a little bit better. Brown water snake. Another one actually dipped off the bank just to our right that I didn't see, so. Here is a denizen of the swamp, a handsome green anole, just chilling, giving me the stink eye, waiting for me to go away. I'm gonna do just that and leave him to his business. Got some more stuff to flip up here. All right guys, just got a nice little triple rake with these little ringneck snakes here. Obviously these guys love the little piles of leaf litter and log jams and stuff that accumulate in the swamp like this. These 3 were coiled up in that one little spot together, really cool. But 3 more ringnecks to add to the total for the day. Look at this big man. Just flipped him under this nice log here. Big, handsome, slimy salamander. I've got ants on my hands, but figured I'd show this guy real quick since it's the first one we've seen today. Really big, handsome, northern slimy salamander. All right, guys, well, we just passed some people who said they saw a snake in the trail, and sure enough, right up here, there's a little man's. Look at him. Wow, that is beautiful. Look at that little guy. So this little guy is a juvenile cottonmouth, maybe 9 inches long, something like that. Fairly small, probably born last year. These guys are often confused with copperheads because when they're tiny like this, they have a lot of nice pattern on them. Cart coming. We're gonna move this guy out of the way. So that was actually the people that initially saw the snake and pointed us in the direction of him. Interestingly enough, they said they were recently out here last time and saw a snake about the same size, but was bright red, which I'm assuming they saw a mud snake if it was bright red. And that is incredibly frustrating, but I mean, it's more evidence that they're in this area. Nice, handsome little cottonmouth. As I was saying, these guys are often mistaked as juvenile copperheads because they do kind of have a little bit of that Hershey's Kiss pattern that people typically associate with copperheads. But as you can see, it's a lot more jagged and more irregular. You can kind of see down here, he's got like that weird double jagged band, and then it just kind of turns into a mess kind of there at the end. And usually copperheads are going to be a lot cleaner patterned than that. And they're not usually just gonna sit here like this guy is. They're a lot more, how do I put it, flighty. Not more aggressive or anything. They're just a lot more prone to try to run away and freak out on you. But cottonmouths are a lot more chill, a lot more laid back. Definitely the most undeserved reputation of any venomous snake in the United States. These guys are by far the snake that you have to mess with the most to get bit by. A lot of times they're actually, you know, they will gape at you like that and just open their mouth. I'm waving my hand above his head right now to get him to do that, but a lot of times you would actually have to actively try to pick one of these up to get bit by them, or stand right on top of them for a prolonged period of time. So anyways, we're gonna move this guy to the cart path. Really nice to see, nice healthy little juvenile cottonmouth. All right, we're gonna make sure this little guy gets it safely to the wood line. He's making his way rapidly. Really cute little baby cottonmouth. Go on. There we go. Look at that. He's got a kind of a barren pattern. Really good looking little snake. So we switched up the pattern a little bit. Came over to a different spot and just got out of the car, and there's a nice big erythrogaster stretched out right there. It looks like a nice one, so I'm gonna try to get my hands on him. Turtles. Yeah. Come here, Nancy. Hey, whoa. A little bit too intelligent for his own good. Chill. All right, really handsome plain-bellied water snake to start out this next spot. All right, really alert, handsome plain-bellied water snake to start off this next spot. Who's gonna bite me? Hey, he's in shed, actually. He's right about to shed. Whoa! I'm gonna shed him out real quick. All right, you can kind of see he's shedding here. Really beautiful looking colors underneath there.
Seems sure to be trusting pretty quickly.
Yeah, they catch on pretty quickly that you're not gonna eat them, and as long as you're not handling them rough, they'll chill out.
Nice.
All right, guys, we're gonna release this beautiful plain-bellied water snake. We got a little bit of video. He shed out and is looking really nice right now. Absolutely beautiful. One of the better looking Nerodia species for sure. So we're just gonna put him right back here by this little stump he was basking at and see where he goes. Down the holes, coming back out. Looks like he's going down in the water.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, guys, well, this is a new one for this spot. I was walking over here. I went and checked that little bit of bark on top of that log, and I spotted this guy. That is an eastern garter snake just chilling right there on the side of the trail. Something I've never seen in this area. This is a species that I find to be relatively uncommon throughout a lot of the metro Atlanta area. And then there's certain areas you'll get into and they're everywhere. But I don't see them around here, hardly at all. And when I do, it's almost always crossing the road. So it's a real treat to hike this guy up in habitat today. I'm really excited about it. I'm gonna get a couple in situ photos. He's sitting here in a really nice spot, and then we'll get a better look at him. All right, so garter snakes have real interesting defense mechanisms where they puff up and really put on a show. As you can see he's doing here. This guy looks like he's covered in slime, like he was just eating a slimy salamander or something, which is entirely possible. These guys are heavy amphibian predators. I definitely guess that that's probably what went on here and why his neck looks so crusty. He looks like he's covered in amphibian slime. So, really interesting, really cool looking snake. Not the best looking garter snake, but they're all interesting in their own way, especially when they put on a good display like this. But really nice. Eastern garter snake. I'm just gonna put him back in this little patch in the sun. Really nice surprise out here today, not something I was expecting to see at all. So I'll take it. You can see this guy slash girl is actually quite large for a garter snake too. Generally they're a bit smaller in this one, I find them. Whoa! So anyways, we're gonna put him back. The more I look at this guy, the more I definitely think he ate a slimy salamander. If my phone would stay focused, you see that? You can see he's got that black crud on his chin. That is the same stuff you get all over your fingers when you handle a slimy salamander. So I would guess this guy recently made a meal of one, and it's kind of made him quite messy. So anyways, we'll let him go real quick. Put him down right there. Let him on with his day. This guy's doing a forage while his lady watches from the sideline. Here's a nice queen snake. We've been seeing a lot of these guys lately, of course, so I'll just show them to you real quick. Chilling in the bush right there. Nice looking adult. I saw another one earlier, but it got away before I could get any video. But we're not gonna try to catch that guy. We'll just leave him right there. And here's a couple of water snakes. There's a big one right there, and then there's another one down on the rock, right here next to this queen snake. There's actually another one through there. There's another queen snake, just chilling up in this bush. Just kind of scanning the base of the creek down here for king snakes crawling along, and I look up and he's up there in the tree. All right, guys, Caitlin just spotted something pretty cool. I don't know if you guys noticed it yet, but right there is a big, handsome green tree frog stuck to the tree. Got this guy just absolutely chilling. Really awesome. Anyways, not a snake, but really cool to see. These guys are gonna start getting more and more common as the weather warms up. But it's cool to see them during the daytime like this. Most often you'll see them hopping across the roads at night and stuff like that. So it's always a treat to see them in the daytime. Alrighty, well, we're gonna leave that guy to his business. Super well camouflaged. If you're not looking for him, like if you're seeing him through the vegetation or something, it'd be much harder to see him. Really cool, great spot. All right, guys, we're making our way back to the car. Unfortunately, nothing crazy here today, but we did see a lot of cool snakes, a lot of cool herps all around. Really solid day in the woods, especially for a half day. We kind of got a late start today because we had some errands to run, but either way, really good day. Hopefully I'll be able to round up this video tomorrow. There's supposed to be some kind of tornadic, nasty weather in the area, so I'll probably only get another half day in tomorrow, but hopefully it'll be pretty good. I'll see you guys then if we don't see anything else here. It is rainy today. It's been raining all day. It's about 1 p.m. at this point, but the rain's supposed to abruptly stop here in a minute, and hopefully the sun will peek out a little bit, and I'm going to get out and walk around. Hiking around during the springtime after a rain is one of the most productive ways to find snakes if you can time it right and you're in good habitat. So really hoping that we'll be able to turn up some snakes this afternoon to kind of wrap this video up. So at least to me, it always feels like days that are wet like this are good for snakes, particularly king snakes, even though it's not what I'm looking for today. I don't know if it's just because I like walking around in the rain or what, but I always enjoy getting out on days like today. And it feels like I usually do pretty well on them, especially if it'll actually eventually stop raining and just be, you know, overcast and kind of damp and humid. But it was supposed to stop raining about 30 minutes ago and it's still drizzling, but I'm restless, so I figured I'd get out, walk around, check some brush piles like this, and just walk around in the woods and see what all I can turn up. So I'm gonna do just that, and I'll keep you guys posted. So I'm out here in this field. There's all these rocks lined up here, and I went to flip this one. I kind of peeked over the edge, and down in there is a copperhead. Look at that. That's awesome. Really fast. It's just raining still. And there's a nice copperhead chilling right there. That is actually the first one of those I've ever hiked up around here, so that is awesome. All right, guys, well, I think I'm just gonna leave this copperhead right here. I might actually lift up the rock a little bit just so you guys can see him a little bit better, and then I'll put it back down. Don't want to disturb him too much if I don't have to, since he's been chilling, but you can see I'm not within strike range. This isn't dangerous at all. Just gonna lift this up. You can see he's tucked into a nice little space right there. Beautiful. Very handsome southern copperhead. I'm gonna lower his rock and leave him right there. All right, guys, sun's coming through nicely. Even if we don't see anything else, I'm pretty content with finding that nice copperhead. Always something I look forward to seeing when I'm on foot, even though they do get a little bit, how do I word this? They just get a little bit pesky when you're finding 20 of them in a night crossing the road and you have to stop and move each of them off the road. A lot of people get burnt out on them, but I still really enjoy seeing them in habitat especially. And to add to that, that was the first one I think I've ever found in habitat here in my home county, which is really cool. We see them on the road all the time, but it's definitely a treat to see them in habitat like that. So it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon at this point. The only thing I've seen so far has been that really nice copperhead. But the sun's kind of peeking in and out. It feels really good out here. It stopped raining completely finally. And I was really optimistic I'd see at least one more snake, but it's starting to look like that might not happen. And if that's the case, I might try to switch it up and go flip somewhere else just to get a couple more snakes on the board for the day. We'll see. But I'm going to stick at it for another hour or so here before I make that decision. So I will let you know if I see anything. All right, guys, I'm at my next spot for the day, and I figured I'd just update you real quick. I road cruised over here real quick, and on the way, I found a dead on road mole king. Definitely the first painful DOR of the 2021 season. The snake was probably moving last night, so it kind of makes me regret not road cruising last night. But the last couple times I've tried to road cruise, it's gone very poorly. So either way, that's a huge bummer, but we're going to try to do some flipping here and maybe turn up a king snake of some sort. Grass is definitely growing up nicely here now that spring's well on its way. There's a king snake, very nice, and an erythrogaster. This is our resident female that we've seen many times over the last year or two, I believe. Awesome. This is her first appearance since I think I found her once this fall after she had laid eggs. And this snake was gravid last year and laid eggs presumably somewhere and recovered very nicely. And looks like she is just now kind of coming up out of brumation and starting to get her year going. But she's deep in shed right now, which is unfortunate. She's a really great looking snake, nearly solid black when she's freshly shed, which is always amazing. Definitely one of the most unique and recognizable king snakes in this area, seeing as for the most part these are eastern king snakes. They do have a little bit of integration with black kings, but most of them here are very large bodied king snakes that look just like typical eastern king snake, which is what makes this animal so special. It looks like the excessively high water this spot has experienced this spring has not done her any favor. She's covered in water blisters. A lot of times snakes that brumate or spend a lot of time in very wet situations will get these blisters, which is, it ends up being pretty harmless in most cases, but it can also be a symptom of snake fungal disease. I don't think that's what's going on here. I think the snake just was subject to excessive water in their brumation area, and because a lot of this area was almost completely underwater this winter. So just happy to see this girl survive the winter. We're gonna put her back after a quick voucher photo since she's not much to look at right now. So I washed some of the mud off this snake. It looks a little bit better now, not as crusty looking, but still in dire need of a shed, which will hopefully happen here soon within the next week or so. The snake's doing the ball python defense mechanism, which a lot of wild king snakes do, annoyingly enough. And they just do the exact same thing ball pythons do, where they ball up and hide their head. But anyways, I'm gonna put this girl back under her piece of tin and let her continue with her day. So remember how I said this place was super wet before? Well, it's left this little puddle, and right there, I think that's a stranded catfish, but we're gonna try to get it out of the water. There's another fish right there. We're gonna see what these guys are and see if we can move them back into the main part of the pond here. All right, first up we got this guy. We're gonna put him back. He seems to be doing okay. We're just gonna walk him over here and put him back in the main part of the pond, where hopefully he has not lost too much of his strength and we'll be able to recover. Yep, big catfish, sure enough. This guy seems to be doing all right, considering I pulled a couple of bass out of there that were already dead. So we're gonna go put this guy back and hopefully he will be okay. All right, big guy. Yeah, he seems to be all right. Hopefully he'll make it, even if those other fish don't. All right, it'd be really awesome to get multiple kings today. It definitely feels like the type of day that it could happen, so. Nobody under this one. All right, this is the piece the king snake was under last time, so try to record it this time. Nobody. Well, I didn't even notice when I flipped it, but there was an erythrogaster in this. And I don't know if he'll be visible, but he's under there now, so I'm just gonna leave him alone. But he was actually, I flipped it, and then I put it down and I heard something moving, and he was kind of stuck right there, couldn't get out of the mesh, so That was interesting, but there was a snake on top of this piece, at least. Nothing under it. Well, that was interesting. I wasn't really expecting today to turn into a fish rescue mission. I think the only things I pulled out of there that were going to make it were that catfish and a little bluegill type thing. I'm not really sure what it was. But yeah, I'm kind of glad I came here when I did and got to at least get that nice sized catfish out of there. So, but anyways, I think I'm going to try to wrap this video up. I'm going to head back to the house and really hope to flip something of interest there. We do get mole kings there on occasion, and of course eastern kings. So today should be a perfect day to flip there though. So we're going to go do that and hopefully wrap up this video with a few snakes back at home. Anyways, I am trying to wrap this video up here because tomorrow, actually here in a few minutes, I'm going to be leaving for South Carolina for a day. And I'm going to go meet up with Ian and we're going to flip some of his stuff down there. So hopefully that trip will go well enough that it can be its own video. And I can make this its own video too. So damn, this stuff here at the house has just not been producing this year. No racers, no rat snakes, nothing. I was hoping we could find something here today, but I'm not too optimistic after how the first couple of pieces have gone. Nothing under there either. This piece is looking good today. Nice dappled sunlight. Skink down there, you can see him running around. Oh, that worm snake is still here. That might actually be a different one. It looks smaller. Pretty sure it's a smaller one. I don't see anything else though, just that guy. Little eastern worm snake. Can't really see his head, but he's halfway down a hole, so I'm just gonna leave him to it. Well, look who showed up again. This is our king snake that we've been seeing this year a little bit further down the hill under the board I first found him under back in the fall. So pretty cool. This guy has shed since we saw him last, so he's definitely looking a little nicer, but I'm going to actually try to not touch him at all this time because we've seen him so many times this year. So just going to leave him right there, but another nice king snake recapture here to kind of wrap up the day. Awesome. This guy is looking really good though. He's a really handsome king snake. That's awesome. So yeah, beautiful eastern king snake recapture here at the end of the day. If we don't see anything else, it's a good way to end the video. All right, last piece for the day. Red-bellied snake. Cool. I've seen this guy before actually. I don't think I've shown you guys, but this is a recapture. So I think this is his first video appearance, but nice little red-bellied snake. Good way to end the day right here. Anyway, since this guy's been chilling, I'm gonna just try to lower his piece of 10 and wrap up this video here, I guess. All right, guys, well, it was a pretty productive day. I'll never complain about finding a copperhead and a couple king snakes. Definitely a good way to wrap up this video. So I'm going to do just that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode where I will hopefully be coming to you from South Carolina and finding a lot of snakes. So anyways, I'm probably going to go take a shower and drive down to Ian's place and get ready for tomorrow.